Hey guys, this is Karan Binani from Mobi Scrub, and here we have the Galaxy Mega 5.8 with us today, and we are going to do a full review of this device. Packing a 1.4 GHz dual-core processor and 1.5 GB of RAM, the Galaxy Mega 5.8 is running Android 4.2 Jelly Bean, which is the latest version of Jelly Bean in the market right now. The display is a massive 5.8-inch TFT LCD screen with a resolution of 540 by 960 pixels. It also features an 8 megapixel camera, the primary camera, and a 1.9 megapixel secondary camera. The device weighs somewhere about 192 grams and is only 9 millimeters thick. The first impressions are that the device is humongous. It's a massive 5.8-inch screen. So you're going to have a lot of difficulties getting one finger around. One-handed operation is almost impossible. And even if you want to use like the remaining part of the screen, you really have to maneuver the device a lot. I can only imagine how big 6.3 is going to be. Now, I really feel that this is not even a phone. It's basically a tablet for all its purposes. It just happens to have the calling capability as well. The display is obviously the unique selling point of this device. It's a massive 5.8-inch screen with a resolution of 540 by 960 pixels. A lot of its design and appearances have been borrowed from the Samsung Galaxy S4, and as you can see, it's got a chrome finish on the sides just like the S4 does. The navigation is pretty straightforward. You've got a capacitive back key and a menu key, and you've got a physical home button. The Mega 5.8 is only 9 millimeters thick, which is quite commendable for a device so big. And it weighs 183 grams, which is quite heavy by today's standards. As all Galaxy devices, on the right you've got the power and lock key. On the left edge you've got the volume rocker. On the top you've got nothing but the 3.5mm headphone jack. And on the top, at the bottom, you've got a USB 2.0 data syncing and charging port. You can see that the rear panel of the Mega 5.8 has got the same diamond pattern that the Galaxy S4 rear panel has. Since this is a dual SIM phone, there are two SIM card slots. Both of them are micro SIM card slots. A 2600 mAh battery, which is the same as the Galaxy S4, and a microSD card slot, which is expandable up to 64 gigabytes. This review would be incomplete without an obvious comparison with the Galaxy Note 2. The Note 2 is 5.5 inches in display size, and as you can see, the Mega 5.8 definitely dwarfs it out. Now, with the Galaxy S4, this is not even a question. There's a huge difference, in terms of dimensions, and so if you're really looking to buy an S4 and confused whether you should go for 5.8 Mega, I really don't think there's much of an option. Plus, the Mega is not a premium flagship device for Samsung. It is just a mid-range device, and the S4 is definitely a premium Android Samsung device. The Mega 5.8 is running the latest Android version, which is 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. The lock screen, as you can see, has the same ripple effect that we have seen in the Galaxy Note 2, and there is also another effect called the light effect. You can try that. You've got the same notification pull-down menu, and apart from this, this is the Samsung Nature UX TouchWiz. And they've really improved upon a lot of things. This is the same that you have in the Galaxy S4 as well. With Android 4.2, you can now place shortcuts on your lock screen, even widgets on the lock screen. You can also view your interface, the user interface, in landscape mode. Now, this is something new and has not been seen before in previous versions of Android, of course. Samsung is always happy to provide you with a lot of preloaded applications. To begin, there is TripAdvisor, S Translator, S Planner, S Memo, Samsung Apps, Story Album. A lot of these applications are actually exclusive to just Samsung. The notification toggles have also undergone a slight change. There are actually many more of those that you can even add, customize, and just prioritize them. The display is a regular TFT. This is not a Super AMOLED display. Viewing angles are wide enough, and outdoor visibility is slightly poor, but keep your brightness to the maximum levels. The resolution is really small, so when you spread the entire resolution on a large screen as 5.8 inches, there ought to be some pixelation in the images and the videos that you see. Just like the Galaxy S4's UI, the control panel, or the settings panel more so, has been now categorized into 4 different categories. So there's connections, my device, accounts, and more. And let me just show you into About Device that this is indeed running Android 4.2 Jelly Bean. This is the latest Android version right now. Unlike the Galaxy S4, the Mega is a mid-ranger, so this is not a premium device. So a lot of these features that were present in the S4 are not present in the Mega. But there is direct call, there's smart alert, there's palm motion, so you can just swipe your palm and you can take a screenshot. You can mute or pause by just hovering your palm over the display. Then there is one-handed operation. Now, this device is huge, and Samsung, kind of thought, well, it's a great idea to have a single-handed operation compatible UI, and they did this. They did this in the Galaxy Note 2 as well. With large displays comes the joy of typing really well. Now, the keyboard is very well spaced out thanks to a lot of space. So, you're bound to make very less errors while typing. So let me just try typing, "Hi, this is a test message." And, I've almost been able to do it without any errors. I prefer swipe actually, but for those who use the stock keyboard, this is quite well. A feature introduced in the Galaxy smartphones and been really improved upon with the new 4.2 update is Group Play, where you can actually share pictures, documents, play games, and share music. So you can have, same music or same images on your devices at the same time. And if you've seen the latest Galaxy S4 ads, wherein all the speakers combine to play the same song. According to me, this is a pure media device. You should use this to read books, read articles, read stuff, view images, pictures, and obviously watch videos. It's not really meant to make a lot of phone calls because you really cannot hold this for very long next to your ear until you're using a Bluetooth headset. And I would really recommend you do that. The Mega 5.8, just like the Galaxy S4, features the latest version of S-Voice. Now, there might not be a lot of difference in the previous version of S-Voice, but maybe a few language support and a few UI changes. Something really nice, handy, and unique is the driving mode. And what that does is basically reads out stuff to you. So whether it's your messages or any incoming calls, it'll just read out to you and you can continue driving, not having to be interrupted. Let's talk about the camera application user interface. It is very similar to what we've seen in the Galaxy S4, which is again inspired by the Galaxy camera. You've got a bunch of modes, the auto mode, sports mode, panorama, continuous shot, and even sound and shot that was introduced in the S4. And all of these are visual thumbnails that go in a wheel fashion. You can obviously lay out them in a grid as well. Apart from this, you've got a variety of settings that you can toggle. So you've got flash, you've got timer, you've got exposure values, the fact whether you want MMS-based video or variety of sharing options as well. And there are a couple of more settings. So, you can choose your photo size. It is by default set to 6 megapixels, which is wide frame. You can obviously change it to 8 megapixel if you want. You can always choose to have your anti-shake on, just beneficial. Yeah, you can change your video size. You can lower it to, so that you can save for more space and have more of video length. You can also customize your volume keys to be your camera key. So you can actually start clicking pictures with the volume buttons, which I believe is really great for self-portrait shots. And then you have a variety of white balance modes, exposure changes, and you can even choose to have your guidelines on or off. Unfortunately, the color filters or the artifacts that the Galaxy S4 had are not in the Mega's camera interface. These are the older ones, and they're really not as fun to use as the S4's filters were. They were more Instagramish in nature and a lot of fun to use. Anyway, there are a couple of filters that you can use, and as you can see, there's also tap to focus, so you can keep shifting focus. There is a detailed review of the Galaxy Mega 5.8's camera, so feel free to jump to that video, and it's a lot more detailed, talks more about the camera. Another thing is that the shutter speeds are really high. So, it takes the picture the instant you click the shutter key. So 0 shutter lag. The camera can also record full HD videos and at 30 frames per second, of course. There's also a pause option. So while recording, you can pause it and then resume from wherever you stopped. You can also take a photo while you're shooting. So, you have that key. When you press that, it just takes a picture instantly. So I really feel it's very handy. So guys, the Galaxy Mega 5.8 is really just an affordable big screen device for people who don't want to spend a lot for a large screen experience. It is in all essence a tablet for all purposes, and it does have calling capabilities. So guys, that's it about the Mega 5.8. There is a detailed review of the camera and a gaming review. Do check that out. Thank you for watching, guys, and do not forget to subscribe.